Hello dear students, welcome to the lecture 17 of Responsive Web Design with ASP.NET 5 and MVC Pattern and Bootstrap 5. So we were left at popovers of Bootstrap. Before doing that, let's start with cloning our lecture as usual. Okay. And meanwhile it is getting opened, we can continue reading. Okay. Okay, so popovers. Overview.
Overview. Things to know when using the Popover plugin. Popovers rely on the third-party library Popper for positioning. You must include popper.minjs before bootstrap.js, or use bootstrap.bundle.minjs/bootstrap.bundle.js, which contains Popper, in order for popovers to work.
This is the bundle that we have already included in our project, therefore it will work. It is working actually, we have already tested that.
Popovers require the Tooltip plugin as a dependency. Popovers are opt-in for performance reasons, so you must initialize them yourself.
So these are not automatically initialized, we have to initialize them ourselves.
Zero-length title and content values will never show a popover. Specify container, body to avoid rendering problems in more complex components, like our input groups, button groups, etc. Triggering popovers on hidden elements will not work. Popovers for .disabled or disabled elements must be triggered on a wrapper element. When triggered from anchors that wrap across multiple lines, popovers will be centered between the anchor's overall width. Use .text no wrap on your A greater than S to avoid this behavior. Popovers must be hidden before their corresponding elements have been removed from the DOM.
So you have to hide them before remove the element that they are binded. Okay, let's rename our project as usual. Okay. Okay. And let's add lecture 17 view. Okay. And let's also add lecture 17 controller. Okay. Oh, we also need to name this with controller extension. Actually, name appending. Okay, and yeah, let's add root. Directory. By the way, I have to remove root from lecture 16, otherwise it would conflict. Okay, everything is ready. And let's open our index. Let's save this. Close all other tabs. Okay, now we can start our examples. So you see, we need to initialize them like this. So let's copy this, pop over here, and now I need to initialize it. So where is the popover? Okay, here the content of popover, database content, and I need to initialize it as of course the script, therefore I need to initialize it like Popover neighbors, popover document queries example popover. So it is using class example popover, but we don't have that yet in our document. So let's give an ID to this, or let's add an extra class here, pop class, like this, and I'm going to use that as a selector. Oh, this is not the way we did it. Let me check from our lecture 16. We had a working example here. So yeah, it was like this. This is a better way. So you see, we are using, when the document load is ready, we are selecting database toggle equal popover like this. So we are getting all database toggle elements which are equal to popover with this jQuery selector, and then we call popover command. This is the most optimal way. It will initialize all of the popovers at once. So can we have multiple popovers at any time? I will test that in a moment. So let's wait it to open. Okay, let's stop it. Okay, popover 1, popover 2. Let's add some new lines here. Okay. And 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so we have a problem somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I see. The error is coming from tooltip because we have no tooltip right now, and since it is throwing error, maybe the function is not continuing to execute. So let's refresh. By the way, you see there is lecture 15 written here. In order to fix that, we need to change our under shaded layout CSHTML. Here I need to change it as lecture 17. And okay, so it says popover is not a function. And did we include anything else here in lecture 16? Let me see. Oh, I see. We had included, but these are different things. Yeah, this is table jump related stuff, and yeah, we don't have that. Let's check out layout. In the layout, we have JavaScript Bootstrap bundle min. So we already have Bootstrap bundle. It also says we need to have Tooltip plugin. And is this a different thing? No, it is already there. So what is our problem? Let's see how did they initialize it. Okay, dot pop over. No, I don't see anywhere. Probably it is inside. Anyway, oh, we can see it here. Oh, I see it here. So they have used document query selector all BS pop for each function new bootstrap pop over. Okay, they have used this for their pop over, and document ready, document query selector. Okay, let's test this if it is working or not. I see. So you see, it says that the integrity attribute is not verified. Therefore, let's remove that integrity from here. Where it is? Oh, it is here. Let's remove it. Now it shouldn't get blocked. Of course, I need to refresh. Okay, okay. Now no errors. And now it is working. Amazing. We can have both of them. And what about our previous selector? Like this. And yeah, still working. Okay. So it was related to script blocking due to integrity check. And once I have removed it, it is working. I don't know, maybe we have changed something, so it affected its integrity. And you see we can have multiple popovers. They are not getting closed by default when we click somewhere else. We need to click it again for popover to get closed. Let's continue with the example here. You see there can be 4 directions, like here. Okay, let's close this. I can't close this. Okay. And dismiss on next click. Okay, so we can also set that. You probably already remember that in the previous lecture. So it must have, okay, database trigger focus. I think this is the keyword. So let's make one of them dismissible. Okay, here, dismissible. To make it dismissible, I am adding database trigger. And I refresh. Okay, this is dismissible, you see. When I click somewhere else, it is getting dismissed, and this is not. For this, you have to click here. All right, and disabled elements. So disabled popover automatically getting triggered. That's when you hover your mouse, like here, and auto get dismissed. So it has database trigger hover and focus. Since it is disabled, you see for default we don't provide any triggers, and by default it is being click trigger. So let's write our notes as usual in lecture 17 and how to initialize them. And okay, all right, let's continue to the next. Okay, which is progress. All right. Okay, I keep clicking the incorrect thing.
Documentation and examples for using Bootstrap custom progress bars featuring support for stacked bars, animated backgrounds, and text labels. On this,
Okay, so how it looks.
how it works. Progress components are built with two HTML elements, some CSS to set the width, and a few attributes. We don't use the HTML5 progress element, ensuring you can stack progress bars, animate them, and place text labels over them. We use the dot progress as a wrapper to indicate the max value of the progress bar. We use the inner dot progress bar to indicate the progress so far. The dot progress bar requires an inline style, utility class, or custom CSS to set their width. The dot progress bar also requires some role and aria attributes to make it accessible. Put that all together, and you have the following examples.
Okay, let's copy them and test them. So we have div class progress bar, progress as a main wrapper. Then we have inline progress bar, role progress bar. Area value now is 0, which means what kind of percentage value it has. And actually this may be related to screen readers or not, I'm not sure. And it has value max, value now, value, okay. So this is probably, yeah, related to the screen readers. I believe it won't have any effect when I remove them. Okay, and of course we need to have some separation. Because they are pretty much stacked. And let's also have some new line between them. Okay, yeah, area, this area label is just for screen readers. And when you set their width like this, it means how much percent is progressing. Also, we can use this width as well, but that is it doesn't have all. It has only 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. Okay, so how can we also have a label? It is pretty simple, like this. So let's say our progress is 12%. And let's write 12%. I think it is always left aligned, but is completed. How it looks. And some longer text. Okay, yeah, you see, you cannot see the rest of it if the text is over there. What about if we make it like this? Yeah, so whichever the site you put your text, it will be visible there. And you can also set height, custom height like this. So let's set a custom height inside style, for example, height 40 pixels. And where it is. Okay, why this isn't working? Because I think we need to set the height in here. So style, height. Yeah, now working. We can also have different backgrounds. These are the usual utility classes of Bootstrap. For example, I edit here and it changes like that. I can also change, I think, the progress bar as bg dot danger. Yeah. Okay, and you can also stack multiple bars like this because they are in line. Okay, let's stack multiple bars, and you can write different text inside them, like 15%, 30%, and 20%. Yeah, actually this is being 45% and this is being 65 when you take it from the 0. Okay, and you can also have striped. So we add bar striped to our progress bar class here, like this. And it becomes striped, but it is 0, so we need to add some width to this. Okay, let's make the other one striped. Yeah, you see. And we can also have animation. To have that, there is animated class, like it is added to inside progress bar. So here, however, it requires some activation probably. Let's see. For animation, of course, probably we also need. So how this animation works? So database toggle button ID animated progress. I see. Okay, let's copy this and let's add animation. To be able to have animation, we need to have an ID. So the ID it takes is animated progress. Yeah, which is the inner bar ID probably. Mm, let's see from the page source code. This may be inside their JavaScript file, which they include. Yeah, here. So you see when it is clicked, it adds an event listener, which adds progress bar animated. Oh, it calls toggle. Yeah, it calls toggle query. I see. So on click, we can have on click method. On click. For toggling, let's add progress bar animated here. The inside thing, I mean this is. So on click, we can execute a JavaScript method, animate bar. Okay. And for animate bar, let's write a method here, function. And what this is going to do is jQuery. It will select this class and it will call toggle method. Okay. Oh, by default it is animating. I see. So when you add this, it is automatically animating. If I remove this and yeah, it stops animation. So to be able to have it animating, id equal to animate, I need to add this class. So what I'm going to do is pick this as animate and add a class. Okay, you see there is add class like this. Okay. Okay, and so it will start animation. However, it won't remove it. To be able to remove it, what we need to do is this. Okay, if animate, okay, has class this, then we need to remove class like this. Okay, one moment. And then we need to return. Okay, to be able to return, of course, we need to encapsulate it like this. And if it doesn't have class, it will continue to execute. You see, now I can animate it or remove it. Okay, and okay, that's it. Okay, so progress, bars, progress, and labels, height, width, backgrounds, multiple bars. Okay, striped bar, animated stripes. Okay, that's it. Let's continue to Scrollspy. Okay.
Scrollspy. Automatically update Bootstrap navigation or list group components based on scroll position to indicate which link is currently active in the viewport.
Yeah, I have seen examples of this. Actually, I don't have any memorized website right now to show, but I have seen an example of this.
How it works. Scrollspy has a few requirements to function properly. It must be used on a Bootstrap NAV component or list group. Scrollspy requires position, relative, on the element you're spying on, usually the body. Anchors A are required and must point to an element with that ID. When successfully implemented, your NAV or list group will update accordingly, moving the .active class from one item to the next based on their associated targets. Scrollable containers and keyboard access. If you're making a scrollable container, other than the body, be sure to have a height set and overflow y, scroll, applied to it alongside a tab index equals 0 to ensure keyboard access.
Okay, so there is an example. Let's test that example. Okay, let's refresh. Okay. You see, when I click it, it goes to the that position with adding this hashtag to the end of the URL. But where is the Scrollspy here? Okay, H4 ID second heading. I see. So when we add this, it is just adding this to the end of the URL. And okay, we can't see it, so let's add it to the bottom of the page. Like here. And does it show? Oh. Let's add multiple of them to, of course, this will cause some problems. Okay, let's type some new lines. Okay, we need to remove extra one here. But no, this is what I didn't mean. When we changed the scroll, it was highlighting somewhere around here. Let's continue with the example. Okay, I see. So this is working, but you see, our example is not. This is probably due to we don't have such area. Okay, so let's add a class equal to container, and let's set height. Okay, max height equal to 100 pixel, and then it should become scrollable, auto scroll. Okay, still it is bigger than max height. And let's set overflow auto. Okay, now we can see we have a scroll. However, now is getting lost. Definitely this example is incompleted. Given here, let's check from source code. So they have a scroll like this, I think. Okay, we need to find the correct example. Yeah, okay, this is the correct example. So it starts like this. I think add ends here. So let's use that. Okay, so it has h2 example, div class bd example, navbar example, navbar light, bg light, px3. Well, still looks like we are missing something here. Okay, I think we need to set our navbar fixed. We were setting our navbar fixed. See. From the, okay, this is 0.4, let's open 0.5. Fixed. So for fixed we add we add fixed tab to the navbar, which is here. Okay, and when we refresh, okay, it is fixed tab to the here. Oh, not inside the yeah, not working. So why we can't make this example work? Flex one alignment and stretch. Okay, let me check this from source code. How this navbar is top of it? Oh, here. So you see it has database target navbar example. So let's just copy this and paste it to our example here. Okay, so there are some key issues. First, the navbar is just above the div, which has database by scroll, database target navbar example 2, which is written here as an ID, and database offset 0 and class Scrollspy example. And this is a custom class probably they have, and tab index 0. So now when I refresh, it will work, I'm pretty sure, but so it is related to this. I think this is related to its style. 8. Let's make it 300 pixels. Let's refresh. Okay, I think I also need to add scroll overflow I auto, and let's refresh. Okay, and okay, there's still something wrong. What may be still wrong? Okay, we have ID of our navbar, and we have database by scroll target as example 2. Okay, we have headings like this, and I can see the heading here. Okay, so why not working? Okay, it is going to the first heading, second heading, and fifth heading or something, you see. However, they are not highlighted. I think it is because they are wrapped inside another class, not the body itself. So the key issue is related to probably the Scrollspy example. Let's see this class. Okay, it has position relative, height, and margin top. Yeah. So we need to set position relative. Here. Let's refresh. Okay, now it has appeared. All right, that's it. You see, when you work with the examples provided here, sometimes you need to check their source code to make it work. Okay, there is nothing. Oh, you see, it also told us to add body position relative. Otherwise, it won't work. But we have discovered this already ourselves. And okay, that's it. If you want to use it, you can look more. So what's Scrollspy? How it works? Example in navbar. Example with nested nav. This is just same, nothing different. By the way, when you click to, it is not working very well. Yeah, weird. Even the example doesn't work. And list group, it is just using list group, nothing different. Okay, position relative requirement. Okay, and then spinners.
Spinners. Indicate the loading state of a component or page with Bootstrap Spinners, built entirely with HTML, CSS, and no JavaScript.
Okay, we had I have shown example of loading spinner or image in the previous lectures, but we had used an image for that task. Probably it is still here. Let me see. Okay, here fidget spinner, and instead of that image, now we are going to use the spinner of Bootstrap. It's a built-in spinner that you can just call that as a class here. Visually hidden loading, and you see loading text is visually hidden. It is just for let's say screen readers to read. You see, the visually hidden has, I think, display visibility hidden, or let's see which class is that. So visually hidden means that yeah, its position is absolute and margin -1, which means it is not inside the screen. It is at the top left of the screen with -1 margin. If I change margin of this to like 11, okay. I also need to change its width and height. Position absolute, and now it works. You see loading. It is even spinning as well. All right, and there is growing spinner. So different classes. You can use all of them. Alignments like this. which has a margin of 5. Placements, I wonder if they have size. Yeah, they also have size. You can even set custom sizes. That is great. So let's add a size to this style. Okay, width equal to 50 pixels and height equal to 50 pixels. Okay, when we refresh, okay, you see the first one has 50 pixel width and height, and you can even show spinner inside the button. So this can be also used when you post back and disable button from clicking. So it will show loading button like this. You see it is not clickable. To make it not clickable, we add disabled role here. And okay, that's it. So how you activate spinner is totally related to you. When you post back to the server, you need to add necessary classes to those elements and remove them from those classes when the post back is completed. We have made example of that actually. In the previous lectures, you can look for them. Spinners, border spinners, colors. However, for my developed games, I use a web P spinner. I mean an image spinner because it looks, I think, cooler. Okay, so growing spinner and alignment, placement, whatever you want. You can always mix classes of Bootstrap to obtain different results. You can also have float, text align, like here. You see text center, that's it. There's nothing different here. That's nothing special here. And size. Okay. Okay. Okay, so
Toasts. Push notifications to your visitors with a toast, a lightweight and easily customizable alert message. Toasts are lightweight notifications designed to mimic the push notifications that have been popularized by mobile and desktop operating systems. They're built with Flexbox, so they're easy to align and position. Overview. Things to know when using the Toast plugin. Toasts are opt-in for performance reasons, so you must initialize them yourself. Toasts will automatically hide if you do not specify auto-hide, false.
toast will automatically hide. Okay. Okay, so there are some examples. Let's start.
Basic. To encourage extensible and predictable toasts, we recommend a header and body. Toast headers use display, flex, allowing easy alignment of content thanks to our margin and Flexbox utilities. Toasts are as flexible as you need and have very little required markup. At a minimum, we require a single element to contain your toasted content and strongly encourage a dismiss button.
Wow, this looks pretty cool and easy. Okay, something like this. And yeah, it is not visible by default, so we need a trigger. So how do we trigger it? Okay. Okay, like this. I think I will do it with the trigger like this. Okay, so position fixed, it says I will use okay, let's see. So what happens if we don't put this? Okay, probably still won't work. Okay, to make it work, we need to initialize it. How do we initialize it? Let's see. Okay, like this. So let's add this code to our script. Toast this slash call document create toast. Okay, yeah, it should work, I think. So let's refresh. It's still not working. So I think I will use this. Oh, I see, because we have added it to incorrect place. So let's just use jQuery. It will select all toast class elements like this, and it will call toast. Yeah, I'm wondering if this will work. So let's just remove this. Let's see if there's an error in the console. Yeah, so toast is not supported. Okay, so we see the toast anywhere. No. Let's use the thing here. Maybe it is because we didn't add a position to it. So let's keep the position here. I will use top. Okay. Okay, I still can't see it. So let's see. I think we need to trigger it with a button click. So it will be like this, toast button on click. So I see. So it returns toast list, and from toast each, toast show. So do we have a button with ID? ID is this, so we need to give this ID to this. So this is basically assigning an event to this button. So when we click it, yeah, now we can see the toast appearing. So does it have auto height? Yeah. Okay, it is working. And so this is height class. It has, yeah, hide button. It has a close button. So it dismisses the toast. And which toast it is? Database dismiss toast. I think it hides all toasts. So let's try multiple toasts. It was somewhere around here. Okay, toast container. Yeah, let's try this. Like this. So toast container can contain multiple toasts. Toast header toast. Ideally assertive, atomic true. Database, yes. Close. BTL close. It will close the toast. I think it closes the parent toast. So let's test. Yeah, they have appeared here. By the way, they are taking space here. It is, I think it shouldn't be like that. So in order to prevent that, placement. Oh, we can even have middle center. So position relative. So it is like this, yeah, top 15. To have that, let's add it here. So toast container. Let's refresh. Oh, now we can't even click it. Let's see the source code. Okay, you see this is where toast is positioned. Maybe we need to put these inside. Let me see. Here and here. No. So when we set, okay, let's test this. So there is ID, okay. The toast shouldn't take space in the, but I also can't click this button. Why? It shows I have an error now. Oh, I see. This is very weird, by the way. When I added a BR, now it is gone. To where? Wow, I see. You see, after I have added this BR, the position relative, now it has 0 height, therefore not taking any space. And when I click it, I can see it like here. And if I want to set them center, okay, how do I gonna do that? Okay, it is like this. So deflex justify content center, align item center with 100%. This will be the class of the div area lib, and from here or not. Okay, let's make the container ID like this. I'm in the class. So let's try this way. Okay, still take, now they are taking space again. So we need to keep, okay, let's remove the width. No, not working. Okay, they are centered, but they are taking space. Okay, someone already asked that question. Container position should be relative, and okay, so the container will be relative, which is here, and this will have position absolute like this, so it won't take space. And when we click it, okay, now we can see it. However, let's see. Answer here. Okay, how it make position relative to the other false toast. And the toast itself has position absolute here. Okay, so this is working. However, we need to add a z index, and I wonder if there is a class for z index for Bootstrap. No, so we need to add that ourselves. Okay, so it won't get behind. Yeah, but the way it is being displayed is not what I want. You see, this is the toast position relative. I want to set it center of the page, so let's see from here. I think it was this somewhere around here. Middle center, yeah, let's try this. So we will keep position relative in here. Maybe, I'm not sure. No. So this way, okay, it is working, but if it is taking space or not, so let's find it out. No, it is not taking any space, 0 and 0. So this is what we were looking for. And now it is being displayed here. I can also set it top right, like top 0, start and 0. I think it should work. Okay, one of them is visible and the other one is not. So top 10 and 10 is totally up to you. Oh, now I can click, so there is something wrong. Top left, top right. When we set it like this, it is not working as expected. The other one is at the top, so when we remove this, now it is taking space, so it isn't even working. Okay, so the position is totally up to you, and you can make it like this. I think instead of and, I need to use start. 18. But it is still taking space right now. Let's test the positioning here actually. So this is a really polite atomic tree, position relative mean height 200 pixels. Let's see where it is. Okay, so it is taking space right now. Therefore, it is not as we want, and the close button is not working. So you need to work with their positioning, because by default they are taking space in your website. Therefore, you have to be careful with that. Oh, now it is working, yeah. So position relative to the very top, then inside container position absolute top 0 and 0 p3 padding 3. So this looks like the best option if you ask me. Okay. And yeah, that's it about toasts. So we can also set auto hide false, and yeah, that's it. Okay, toasts, examples. Okay, demo. Transparent means it blends with their background, I think. So you need to Yeah, it belongs with them. And stacking. Okay, custom content, color schemes you can also have. Placement is a little bit problematic, but we made it work at the and yeah. Okay, so there is tooltips as a last component.
Tooltips. Documentation and examples for adding custom Bootstrap tooltips with CSS and JavaScript using CSS3 for animations and database attributes for local title storage. Overview. Things to know when using the Tooltip plugin. Tooltips rely on the third-party library Popper for positioning. You must include popper.minjs before bootstrap.js, or use bootstrap.minjs/bootstrap.bundle.js, which contains Popper, in order for tooltips to work. Tooltips are opt-in for performance reasons, so you must initialize them yourself. Tooltips with zero-length titles are never displayed. Specify container, body to avoid rendering problems in more complex components, like our input groups, button groups, etc. Triggering tooltips on hidden elements will not work. Tooltips for .disabled or disabled elements must be triggered on a wrapper element. When triggered from hyperlinks that span multiple lines, tooltips will be centered.
Okay, it is pretty much same as poppers. So we also need to initialize them. So let's try. And where do we initialize it? We initialize it with database tooltip, I think. It was like that, if I remember correctly. Okay, you see it appears. And it doesn't appear until I click it back or not. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Working. There are also options for tooltips. I think can we keep timing and other things? Yeah, options. So there are some options as animation, boolean true, containers, delay. You see that you can have a delay like this. So how do we provide delay to our tooltip? Let's see if there's more examples somewhere around here. Okay, database animation. I see database delay probably. So let's add a delay to first one. Database delay equal to 1000 here. When I refresh, okay, it pretty much comes immediately, and this comes, yeah. So this is the way it works. There is HTML. So we can allow HTML as well in the tooltip. What does that mean? Let me show. Database HTML equal to true. And in the title, let's add an HR like this. HTML. And let's see how it looks. You see, now it is working with HR. And there is placement. We can make the placement top, right, left. It is by default auto. Selector, template. So you see you can have a template as well. The template is like this, but you can change it. Title, trigger, hover, focus. You see you can also change trigger as well, like click, I think, manual. fallback and boundary custom class sanitize. So it is about sanitization of HTML allow list, sanitize offset. We can also set offset like 2020, for example. Database offset equal to 2020. You see there is some offset right now. I can see it. And okay. So are there anything relating to dismiss? No. Since it is tooltip, it is automatically getting dismissed. If you want to remove dismiss, I think you need to have popover. Oh, there is also toggles. No, this is not what I mean. ISBS. Okay. Bootstrap not auto hide tooltip. I wonder if this is possible. Oh, I see. When I initialize it, there is trigger hover. And then we can have tooltip hide. I see. With data delay, we can set multiple. And what about hide? I see. So we need to change trigger to hover instead of have hover focus. And you can also bind events like this, hide. But there is no option to disable auto hide, I think. Anyway, let's continue. Okay. Options are up to you. Okay. Tooltips. Enable tooltips everywhere. Examples. Okay, usage. Activation. And markup. Options. Yeah, there are a lot of options. Okay, I think that is enough. So now helpers.
Clearfix. Quickly and easily clear floated content within a container by adding a Clearfix utility.
Okay, so the following examples show how the Clearfix can be used. Without the Clearfix, the wrapping div would not span around buttons, which would cause broken layout. So let's test it. The first one with Clearfix and second one without Clearfix. Okay, you see the first one is floated left, floated right, but the other one is completely different than the rest. Okay, and this is about Clearfix. Colored links. Yeah, that's something we already know. Like this. Okay, Clearfix, colored links. Ratio. Aspect ratio. Let's test it. We can remove this, by the way. Okay. Of course, we can't see them right now, so we need to add some, I think, border one. Still, I can see it. They are taking full space. I don't know why. Let's try this. Let's add a background to it. So EG danger. Okay, I see. So based on the screen size, you see it is just double of the screen resolution. So its width is 1519 and its height is just half of it. So we can have custom ratio like 15. So for 15 it will be 15%. Okay, so you see it set its ratio according to the screen size. So it is like this. Yeah. So this is about ratio. Okay, ratio, aspect ratios. All right, and position, fixed top, fixed bottom, sticky top. We already have all of them. Okay, sticky top. And then there is a responsive sticky top. For example, let me show sticky top to you. So the sticky top will remain there like this when you get down below its current position. So you see it's currently positioned here. When I get down, you see it's still here. We already have example of that in the previous lecture. So what is visually hidden?
Visually hidden. Use these helpers to visually hide elements, but keep them accessible to assistive technologies. Visually hide an element while still allowing it to be exposed to assistive technologies, such as screen readers, with .visually hidden. Use .visually hidden focusable to visually hide an element by default, but to display it when it's focused, e.g. by a keyboard-only user. .visually hidden focusable can also be applied to a container. Thanks to focus within, the container will be displayed when any child element of the container receives focus.
Okay, so it is like this. Visually hidden. And stretched link card with. So you see, entire card is now as a single link. Let's see. Okay, this style cards, and you see I can click everywhere. This is so hard to achieve in regular HTML, believe me, but I have spent so much time to make some of my links like this. But with a stretched link plus here, it takes the entire, it makes the entire div as a stretched link. It's awesome, believe me. So this is probably JavaScript. You see when I click it, it's clicking here. Okay, multiple links and tabs targets are not recommended, of course. Wow, this is so much awesome feature, believe me. If you are working with HTML, you would know that. And okay, card with stretched links. Some quick example text. Stretching link will not working because position relative is added to the link. Okay. So this is about stretched link. And text truncation. It will only show some part of the text, so it will truncate text after 2 column, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this may be useful, but I wouldn't suggest to use that text truncation. And then there is utilities API. Okay, so this is not our topic right now. You can look at if you want. Background color, we already know that. You can also have background gradient, which is great. Yeah. Normally I suggest you to use background gradient. So how do we use it? So let's see, because gradient is in most cases looks better. When I add PS gradient to the class, I think it becomes a gradient. Yeah, it is not a single color anymore. Let's add a gradient to every one of them. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah, they are all gradient right now. It looks much better. Okay, background colors and background gradient, and yeah, there's nothing more important here. Borders, so you can have different borders like this: additive, subtractive, border color, border width, border size, borders. You already know that. Border size, border width, border color, such. Okay, colors. The colors are like this. You see different text colors. And yeah, that's it. So colors and text colors. Display. Oh, display is about what kind of display you are expecting. I mean, inline block, they are all differently rendered in the browser. So this is all about display. You want it to be like a table or table cell, table row, flex, inline flex. So these are just display values. They are taking d dot non block, inline block. You see tables print cell, display in print. You can also set display in print as well. So when user tries to print, it will be how it will be displayed. The notation is display and value. So let's make an example. By default, divs are display block. Therefore, they take entire row. You see the inline, the block, the flex, the inline, the grid, like that. Anyway, if you want to learn more about display, display differences. Okay, maybe there's an example. Let's see. I think we need to type as CSS display differences. Okay. Okay, so you see this is inline. This is inline block. This is block taking entire row. This is Flexbox. This is another thing. Full overroot. Grid. This is a hard example to understand. Maybe there's another thing. Okay. Line block. And then you can look for that if you want. I will just move. There is flex. This is the new feature of browsers, but it is awesome feature by the way. And you can also use Flexbox. You may need to read more about Flex if you want to learn. I will just pass it for now. Float is just float. Okay, responsibility also float value. So let's test it. Okay, anyway, there's nothing you need. Float take position according to the other elements. There is interactions. Let's see if there's anything into. Wow, nice. So select all, select auto like this. When I double click, it select, and there is select none. I hit select none by the way. So interactions. Okay, take selection. Pointer event. So this cannot be clicked. So it is PA none. This can be clicked without behavior. Okay, this is not a really important thing. But let's just also edit. Overflow is just about this. You see there is a scroll bar. You can set overflow hidden. If overflow hidden, it won't be visible. If overflow visible, it will overflow as name suggests. And if you set overflow auto, it will overflow from both sizes. That's it. Instead of style overflow, you just use overflow class. That's all about it. And then there is position. So position static, relative, absolute, fixed, and steady. What is position static? I don't know it. Is the same as absolute? Anyway, so you can have position relative like this. It is displayed at the top. I mean the position relative, it's parent element, and position top is, you see, displaying here. Okay, and we can have other examples as well. This is a good example actually. Let's put it. So you see, for this to work, the parent element may need to have a position absolute relative. I think that's test it. So I will remove position relative from bottom copy pasting. Yeah. So these are the first ones and these are the second ones. I can't see them, so we need to add them inside the containers. But when you remove parent position relative, it gets broken. Yeah. So I need to, so they must have position relative as a parent. Okay. Okay, like this, and you see position absolute top 0 start 0 translation middle button primary rounded field. Wow, it looks cool. Style width rm height rm. So this is actually a division here. Yeah, let's see this. So it's a position relative, and you see between 1 and 2 there is actually a div. So this is button, and between them, oh, I see. So this is the button, and this is another one. And where does that come? Oh, this is progress bar. I see. So this progress bar is what is being displayed here. And since we use position absolute top here, they are getting these positions. Oh, cool. Okay. There is shadows like here, box shadow. Okay. And sizing relative to the parent. You see height auto. Okay, let's add this. Like here. Max width, max height. Relative to the viewport if you want. Okay. Let's test this relative to the viewport. Oh, it's taking a lot of space. Anyway, let's continue with spacing. So spacing is all about margin and padding. Their notation is like this. Negative margin gap. So you can also use gap like this. Yeah. We already know that. Spacing. Okay. Margin, padding, gap. Okay. There is text alignment. We already know text alignment. You see, you can center, right align, left align, text wrapping, word break. So you can also have a word break like this. For word break, we add text break. Yeah. Otherwise, it won't get broken into the multiple lines. Let's test it out. So text wrapping versus text break. Okay, so the text break breaks into the next line, but text wrapping is expanding our, you see, maximum width. There is text transform, font size. Oh, font size are like this. FS1, FS2, font weight. like this. Okay, FW font weight, FCT italic. So FCT is font style, probably. Yeah, font style is FCT. So let's note this text and text alignment and text wrapping and overflow, word break, text transform, font size, font weight and italic. And you can have line height. Wow, it even supports line height, like in Word. This is cool. I think, how does it do that? Probably padding, but I'm not sure. So let's refresh. You see line heading, it is really cool. You can have monospace, so each character is taking same space. Okay, monospace. Line height. Font weight and italics. Okay, we have written that. Reset color. So when you use reset color, it is using the parent text, which is, for example, here text muted, text decoration. Okay, that's it. That's all. Okay, vertical align. So vertical align is align baseline, align top, align middle, align bottom, align text bottom, align text top as needed. Vertical align is hard, believe me, to achieve when you are not using table. Oh, here they have used a table as well. Okay. Yeah. And visibility. Okay, so there is this difference between visibility and display. One of them takes space, the other one is not. Class visible, invisible, and display none. And yeah, so let's see the difference. Okay, so let me show. So when it is visible, it takes space. When it is invisible, it is taking space. When it is display none, it is not taking space. Okay. Display none takes no space in browser flow. However, visibility invisible takes space but not visible. So this is the difference. And then there is extent. Okay, that's not our topic right now. There is icons. So for icons, I think we need to add external thing. Yeah, Bootstrap icons. We have already added that in the previous lectures. Okay, that's all about Bootstrap 5. Now I can show an example of custom login. Okay. Okay, how you design your login and other things is totally up to you. But let's add a new view here as login. Okay. In this login, what we are going to do is we are going to send data back to the server. and then log in the user. That's it. So let's open our SQL Server Management Studio. By the way, in my own project, I keep the login information in the session data. So if user is logged in, I put it inside the session, and if not, I check session whether the user logged in or not. It is totally up to you how you design your session. We have shown you can even keep object in your session as well, like this session set card. You can set string as well. Okay, in our MVC database we have users, and in users we have first name, birthday, and whatever we want. So I want to show something simple for now. Okay, let's have an action here as login. So this will be route lecture 17 login. Okay, inside this login, what we are going to do is we are going to set yeah, this is the way we are going to set. We are going to set if user entered correct password and username. We already have made examples of forms. For example, from lecture 13, yeah, let's use this post. Here, so we can set ASP root for post. Let's set a root in our controller. Okay, here. So for this, we are going to set a name as equal to login route. You can give any name you want. So it will be posted here. And we also, I need to change actually here. We also need to have a model to verify post information. So let's have a model here. I'm going to have login model at class login. So inside here we are going to have two property prop sr username. Currently our system doesn't have password, so I will use user first name and email for verification to log a user. So sr first name, and then we are going to have, by the way, I explain a very detailed login system in my other lectures. For example, in advanced programming lecture, in object-oriented programming lecture. So if you want to learn how to make a login system, you should watch them. It is basically same because our MVC project also uses CSharp, and my lectures also uses CSharp. So if you watch my let me show. Introduction to programming or advanced programming. Here you will learn about how to make a proper logging system with salted keywords, salted and hashed keywords, to have maximum security, how to record them in database, how to let's say save username, password, give them ID, login user, and such. Everything related login operations, background code is explained in Introduction to Programming and Advanced Programming. If you already know C#, which you should already have, you can watch my Advanced Programming course videos, and then you will learn everything related to proper login system. Okay, so I am just showing a quick example on this lecture right now, since it was requested. So email, and let's add that as a model here. Model, it will be from lecture 9 models dot login. Okay, so ASP4 will be for, let's see, autocomplete. Okay, as our first name, and this will be, by the way, card. So we can also display, have a display. It was like, let me find, yeah, here. Display first name. By the way, in our previous lectures, we have truly seen everything related to this, so I'm not going to waste time with them. Your first name, email. Okay, and in our, where is our login index? Here, placeholder, please enter your first name. Okay, and then we are going to have same for, okay, let's use autocomplete email. Okay, please enter your email. Send database storage model binding. Okay, that's it. And in our lecture 7 controller, we are going to get the models that login, like login, and I can verify it if I want, but for now I won't. So here we need to use our database. So let's check database example in our previous lectures, copy paste. Okay, I think I can use this. Okay, MVC context, and we have TBL users, and I need to use var pr dot, okay, pr dot email equal to login dot sr email, and pr dot first name equal to my login dot first name. Okay, so string and int. This is, oh, we have a problem with here. Oh, this is my mistake. Okay, let me fix. Okay, and let's have first our default. So the default value of I think default is source is empty, otherwise first element is default t source if source is empty. So the default will be null probably, I think. Equal to null. Then we can return content invalid password, invalid first name and email combination entered. Of course you can display much better things. Otherwise, if it is not null, by the way, we are user info, we can have a custom class, or we can just hold this inside user session, such as an example was somewhere around here. You see, as you write code, you will memorize it, but until memorizing, there is deserialize, and we must have a sampler serialize. You can just copy paste your older code. Okay, and user login. And to be able to use this, I need to add a reference, of course. And as a user login, I am going to use serialization. Where is it? Is here. I will use JSON convert serialize, and I will just use, so this is TBL users type, this, and if so, okay. And I will set session, and then it is going to return view. So you see, if I want to check whether user is logged in or not, I need to do it like this. If contains, or let's say get string, or let's say keys contains, okay, we can check if user has user login or not. Then let's see, we can deserialize it and tell that user is logged in. So in my model, I'm going to add some extra attribute to display. Here, let's add prop string. Okay, is user logged, or let's have a TBL value. TBL users, user, okay, values. So by default, I will set it as a null. Actually, it will be by default null since it's an object type. And if user is logged in, I will deserialize it like here. Okay. Of course, to be able to have that, I need to have login. Okay, user login. Of course, to be able to use login, I need to add using models. And user login dot tbl, actually user values will be equal to JSON convert deserialize object login and session get string. So the get string will get the key like this, and then I will return, okay, here login, and since our name is login CSHTML, as an object this. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is returning the default index, not the login index. So let's make it here. deserialize object. So where is the problem here? Oh, login.tbl. Oh, actually this will be tbl users type. Yeah, like this. Okay, so in our index, actually let's return. What I'm going to do is let's reverse back like this, return with, and I will have another index as index 2, and this will have a custom road as okay. So this will be login op, and this will login. Okay, so let's remove this road, and simply we will return login view. Yeah. Okay, and if user is logged in, we will display it as like this. Okay, so if a model dot tbl, actually if model is not equal to null, but of course it wouldn't work, user was not equal to null, let's say logout in user. Okay, to type it, of course we need to have something like this. Okay, logout in user id, it will be dot model dot, okay, user values dot, okay, user id, logout in user first name, okay, and okay, surname, okay, and then you can also show its email, whatever you want. You see, it is all up to your imagination how you design is, how your design login users. I'm just simply telling you the idea. When you log out, you just destroy that session value, and tada, it is logged out. I will also show you that. Else, okay, I think let's make it like this. No user is logged in yet, and let's also add a form to log out. Okay, so for logout it will be simply pretty simple actually. By the way, we will return with login. Actually, we need to redirect login, not return with login. So how we were redirecting? So that our logged in data can be refreshed. Okay, redirect to action. Yeah, let's do that. Redirect to action index 2. Yeah. And let's also have a logout as log out route. Okay, log out. By the way, this doesn't need any model, so it will simply sessions, and how do we remove? Remove, yeah, that's it. User login, and then redirect to action. Yeah, index 2, and in our index page or login page, I mean, here we just need to type, okay, logout log user. Okay, let's test it. So our root is login, lecture login actually. Okay. Okay, no user is logged in. First name, let's type something as incorrect. Okay, invalid first name and email combination. Let's type something valid as first name Toros. Email is this. Okay, logged in user ID, first name Toros, university, and let's refresh page. We are still logged in because we are keeping that data in session. Until session is destroyed, it will be there. Let's log out user and log out. Tada! It's a custom authentication system. How you design is totally up to you. You can improve it, you can do whatever you want. And end of the course. Actually, this course should span into 2 semesters, as I mentioned it, because we could show much more things, but as I said, if you watch my introduction to programming and advanced programming and object-oriented programming course videos, here advanced programming, introduction to programming and object-oriented programming, if you watch all these series, then
dear students, welcome to the lecture 1 of
you will have much better idea of how to code your website at the server side, and you already learned the basics, actually fundamentals and even advanced topics of MVC design with .NET Core. Okay, how to design a custom authentication and login system with using session set string, get string, and serialize, deserialize object methodology. All right. So lecture 17 is ready. Let's upload our source code. I hope you have enjoyed my lectures. You can always contact me through our Discord channel. No matter what time you are watching this, hopefully I will be there and answer you. Okay. Right. It is adding all changes. Source code. All right, end of lecture 17, end of the course. Hopefully see you another time. Okay, see you later.